Hey, John, this is a classic case of what I call the O.J. Simpson hangover effect, part 3. Part 2, by the way, was the George Zimmerman arrest yesterday. And part 3 now is Dr. McNeil. What I mean by that is, here's a gentleman back in 2007 who allegedly killed his wife. The prosecutor at the time wasn't sure they were going to be able to prosecute him and get a murder conviction. So they filed child abuse charges. Then they dropped the charges. They didn't do anything for 2 years. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to prosecute Dr. McNeil. Well, they need to drop these charges for a couple reasons. They already got their guilty verdict, so their motive is highly suspect. And number 2, John, there's no new evidence from 2007 when they decided not to prosecute McNeil until now. I'm one of the lead lawyers on the Miramonte child abuse case in L.A., and you need actual evidence. In that case, a teacher pled guilty because there were photographs, for example, of the children being abused, and there was physical and DNA evidence linking the teacher to the abused kids. You don't have any of that here, and you're gonna prosecute Dr. McNeil now and waste taxpayers' money?
Alexis Summers is Dr.
Well, first of all, thank goodness I didn't book my NBA hotel room where this gentleman was supposed to reserve those rooms. I would have paid way too much. But look, I think these charges ought to be dropped, or at least they should be reduced. First of all, you can't prove a kidnap, John, in New York. I looked up the elements of kidnapping in New York. You have to abduct somebody for at least 12 hours. I think it was a short amount of time, less than an hour, number 1. Number 2, you have to transport the victim to another location. That never happened. If he was in the trunk of the car didn't move. The reality here is that if you get a jury, John, of 12 normal folks out there, they could probably relate to Miss Rizzo. Look, she gave this guy some money. He went and squandered it. He didn't give it back. She wants her money back, and she's trying to get her money back. They could probably relate to that. So I'm not condoning what she did, but I think at the end of the day, this guy is a thug anyway. He's a dirtbag. He's got a prior criminal record, and he was kicked out of his apartment recently for not paying rent. So he doesn't really have much of a